What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Campaign Grind. I am Pedro Diaz. I am your host, and this is The Campaign Grind. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. As always, we got our spectacular host here, Mr. Rey Valdez. What's going on, man?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Unfortunately, last week was a pretty busy week for us here. We got elections coming up now, and Ray was out meeting clients, talking to clients, and basically getting things done, which is why you guys missed him and we missed him here on the Campaign Grind last week. But we're gonna try to limit that. We are in the process of bringing on more team members to help us so we can make sure that we always have a full crew here to give you guys the best episodes of the Campaign Grind. So, if this is your first time tuning in, thank you very much for taking the time and checking this out. This is the Campaign Grind. We do talk about campaigns, elections, politics, tips and tricks on how to win and dominate your election. But as I tell everybody, campaigns are run just like a business. So instead of selling a product or a service, you're selling a candidate and their platform. So there's a lot of things that we give you in these episodes that you can utilize in your everyday life and also in your business. So without further ado, we're going to dive right in. Ray, we're going to be talking about two very important topics. It's basically, one of the topics is, as a former elected official, why would you want to run for office again, okay, for the same seat, okay? And the second one, I'm going to give you guys a quick behind-the-scenes look at one of the most important things or tools that we utilize when we campaign for our candidates, or when our candidates campaign and they get a little Diaz Campaigns support behind them. So we're going to talk about the first thing. As a former elected official, why would you want to run for office again for that same exact seat?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind really is the fact that I think that if you were already there and you already were an elected official on that seat, possibly you're hungry for punishment.
Probably.
Yeah, because if you want to come back, no, I'm just kidding.
Talk louder. I don't know if they hear you.
It is part of you like punishment, just like Trump says he likes the challenge of fighting all the time. But maybe you feel your agenda, you didn't get a chance of enough time, and maybe your time was up, and you could not reelect yourself anymore at that time. Like I think that a couple of our friends and elected officials has happened to them in the past.
Yeah,
they their terms have been up and they had to step down. And sometimes your community conscious, is telling you you got to get in there. Things are not running well in your community.
I think so.
You feel that maybe safety, police services, fire, or the administration is not being smart enough about spending the tax dollars in the community and all those things. So it's a whole book of issues that could bring a past elected official back, which is great to me. I believe that's very important.
So you think that as a former elected official, let's say you ran for mayor and you were a former mayor of X, Y, and Z city, you think that they should come back and run for mayor again?
If you had a good response from the community, if you know in your heart that you did a good job, you've lived in the community for X number of years, and as you continue to relate to the community and the schools in your area and services in your community and so on, was they beat, the heartbeat of your community, so if they really ready for you to come back too. It's not only your sense of duty, to serve your community, but it is the fact that you look around and you talk to your gas station attendant, the guy at the grocery store, your next door neighbor, and everyone else, and you can feel the appreciation for the time that you served, and so that's very important because it's going to it's going to reflect on the amount of votes you're going to get reelected.
Yeah.
That besides the fact that you cannot count people move away from the community, new people coming to the community, new businesses. A lot of businesses close down, new businesses open up. So not everybody feels the same way. Not everybody's the same people that were there
Before.
Yeah. So it is important that you run a strong campaign, just like when you first got elected.
When you first got
or
elected.
better.
Yeah.
And let everyone know that you have the experience and you know the community, and that you have the experience of being an elected official there in that position before.
Yeah.
And that and what the results of your position was when you were first elected.
Yeah, I agree. I think that as long as there's a need for you to come back into the game, into the arena, you should do it. If not, if the city is moving forward and everything is happy and fine and dandy and every checks and balances are on the commission and everything's running smoothly, why do that? But I really think that the people, especially people that have run for higher office and want to come back, the reason that they come back is because they don't see or they don't feel that there's much progress being made. So I think that that's one of the main reasons they come back. A lot of people say no because it's an ego thing and this and listen, if you guys are watching this episode, honestly, and it's because you either own a business, you want to move, you want to push yourself to be a better person, or you're running for office. And we all have egos. So yes, it may be somewhat of an ego, but honestly, running for office or being an elected official is not as prestigious as many people think it's going to be or anything like that. Because your life is under a microscope. No matter what you do, what you say, what you tweet or Facebook or Instagram, people are going to dissect it and try to figure out exactly what you're saying, how you're saying it, but did he or she mean this when they tweeted or posted that? Mm-hmm. So it's all, you come under all scrutiny. You get attacked, to be honest with you. So if a former elected official is going to be running back for that particular office again, I think it's because they believe that the city, the government, is not running or moving in the direction they believe it should be running, which is why they want to come back out of retirement and jump back into this. So I'm glad we talked about that, because we get a lot of these clients that want to come back and make a comeback, and depending on, I guess, the feel of the community, the feel of the people, that's really where we make the decision. You should run for this seat, you should run for that seat, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad we talked about that. Now that you guys heard, what we talked about here, I want to give you a little behind the scenes look. Every time we get candidates and they want to canvass, they want to talk to people, they want to get their name out there, they want to figure out what the message is going to be because they're canvassing, finding out what the issues are in the community. One of the things we do is, a lot of people say, okay, I'm going to get some door hangers, I'm going to go knock on some doors, or if there's nobody there, I'm going to leave the door hanger there. A little secret, there's more to that. Yes. What we like to do is we like to make sure that the design for the walk pieces are consistent with everything for the campaign. Website, t-shirts, yard signs, and so on and so forth. The last thing you want to have is a walk piece that looks one way, your website and signs that look another way. So try to keep everything consistent. That's one. Number two, with the walk pieces, we try to make them as big as possible. The reason why is because a lot of people, you can't put the walk pieces in the mailbox. So people get home, they walk out of the car, they get all their bags, they get their wallet, they get their purse, they get the kids, they get the food, whatever it is they gotta get. They get the mail, okay? And then the next thing we do is we leave this big piece of literature. We like doing the 6x11 pieces to leave on the doors. So like that, once they get home, they can't miss it. They're gonna see it, okay? That's another one, number two. That was number two. Number three, which a lot of people don't do, the reason why they don't do it is because it takes up a lot of time. It's some extra time, but I guarantee, go that extra mile and the voters are going to remember you. what we tell our clients to do. You guys see this? Little post-it notes. You write little post-it notes. They could be, pre-written before you start canvassing. Write them down. Write little messages. Sorry I missed you. I want to talk to you. Give me a call. Visit my website. Lovely dog because you saw the dog through the window. Leave a personal message on the house you knock on. Okay, and try to get them to call you back. Chances are, the voter, they see that you took the time to handwrite a personal message. They're definitely going to, one, give you a call, and two, they're going to vote for you because you left that lasting impression. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah. But the fact is that, any election is not an easy task.
Nope.
And even if you were an elected official before, or, a new one, it's all the same thing when it comes to the kind of strategy you need to develop,
yep,
the kind of professional advice and help, like the work that you do for candidates.
Correct.
I've seen you, strategize many campaigns, and many successful campaigns, I may say. And I know a lot of those elected officials that you worked for, and they've been very happy with the results of their campaigns.
Well, they're happy. They're happy with the results. They're not happy with what goes on through the duration of the campaign.
Yeah. Well, the campaigns cost a little money. The campaign takes a lot of time and work,
It
effort.
does. That's the thing.
Takes
Work.
a lot of things. Takes a lot of phone calling, a lot of door knocking,
Yep.
a lot of attending town hall meetings,
Yep.
and answering questions, interviews, and all kinds of things. So you got to be. But all in all, I believe, even though in more recent times, I think that a lot of more people than in the past have lost faith in the elected officials and so on, and politicians.
I think so.
But I think that on the side of the individuals who run for office, I think that there is a sincerity in the majority of doing their community service.
Yeah.
And their concerns, the individual concerns, play a big role on their wanting to run for office and so on. Most people have the wrong belief that because maybe they have been an advocate, activist in the community, and they know a lot of people and all this, that they can get elected.
Yeah.
Running a campaign takes a complete different
lot more than just that.
strategy. Yeah, it's a whole different picture, and I speak from experience. I thought that this would be A, and it turned to be Z.
Yep.
So,
something completely different. Something completely different. So once you guys are canvassing, make sure your walk pieces, they stand out. They're big. They're huge. They tell the voters exactly who you are and what you want to do.
their branding is very important, which I know you do.
Make sure it's all consistent. Make sure it's all consistent, guys. So remember, if you are an elected official, you're out of the game because you're termed out or you can't run anymore, or whatever the reason may be. Take a seat back. Take the back seat. I'm sorry. Reassess everything. Make sure that the city, the government is running the way it should be. If it's not and you feel that you can make a difference, then yes, talk to your friends, your family, see if you can make a comeback. Because you know very well it's very difficult to once you're elected there. Once you're an elected official, your time is consumed. The second thing is canvassing. Remember, make sure your designs are all consistent. Your t-shirts, your signs, your walk pieces, your website, everything. Okay.
And the fundraising.
And you also got a fundraiser, but that's another topic. Right now, we're talking about just the canvassing. You're getting ahead of yourselves. But so the canvassing, big pieces, so they stand out. Your competitors are going to be printing these standard 4x6 postcards or the long door hangers. You want something that's going to stand out. So once people have it in their hand, it's huge. They can't miss it. Also, make sure you put information about yourself, your platform, what you're going to do. But most importantly, make sure you put your website, your social media handles, and also your phone number so they could call or text you at any time. And then the holy grail for canvassing, these little post-its. Make sure you handwrite these messages. Sorry I missed you. Lovely dog. I picked up your garbage. Whatever the case may be. Write it down here on these little notes. Put it on your walk piece. Put it on their door. And I guarantee you're going to get a call back. Or, more importantly, a vote. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning into this week's episode of the Campaign Grind.
I just want to say, you may be the best candidate running for that elected position. So make sure that your campaign is worthy of, who you are.
Yeah.
And that, that you're aiming at getting elected.
Yeah.
Not just getting into a campaign.
That's true, because a lot, especially the elected officials, the incumbents, they think, I've been there, I've done that, I have the name recognition, I'm going to get elected. Listen, nothing can be further from the truth. You can still run for office and get your ass kicked. So you need to campaign, raise cash, run a complete campaign, and take this advice of this canvassing. Big pieces, consistent pieces with information about you, information about your platform, your contact information, and most importantly, the holy grail, these post-its. Put little personal messages there, something very different, something that stands out. Give me a call. I want to hear from you. I want to earn your vote. I guarantee going that extra step, I know it's a pain in the ass because we've done it in the past, our candidates have done it in the past, it takes time, but it makes a world of a difference, I guarantee it. So, this is Mr. Rey Valdez, I am Pedro Diaz. Guys, thank you very much for tuning into this week's episode of the Campaign Grind. As always, if you have any questions whatsoever, give us a call, 305-860-1010, 305-860-1010. Shoot me an email, pedro@diazcampaigns.com, pedro@diazcampaigns.com, or follow me on all social media platforms @Campaign Mentor. Thank you guys very much for tuning into this week's episode of the Campaign Grind. I am Pedro Diaz, signing out.